All right, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. What's going on in your neck of the woods? Let me know where you guys are at in the world. I'm just going to take a moment here, share this out. And then we'll dive into what some of the topics are today and events that we got going on. What's happened this week? Give me just a second. All right. If you are on, if you're out there, out in the old interweb lands, jump on, say hello, let me know where you guys are at. Hope you guys had a good week this week. Busy week this week here. Got to spend some much needed time with my friends over at the Military Child Education Coalition. It was their global summit this week down in Washington, D.C., and had a great time. I think I just spelled something wrong there. Give me just a second here. I gotta unmess this stuff up. Like I said, just trying to get this stuff out. Like I said, if you jump on, let me know you say where you're at. Yeah, Rahman. Yeah, no, let's try. I got sausage. Anybody else has problems trying to type something out on these phones? I got sausage fingers, so I don't, But yeah, spend some time down in DC on what was that, Tuesday, and man, I would tell you, the organization that focuses on military children was awesome. A lot of great speakers, and what was really cool is that I got the opportunity to meet a lot of great kids of all ages at this event. A lot of the they had a art competition, and all the winners from the art competition came down. I got to sit with a young lady, and she played her guitar and sang a song that she wrote. She was a 7th grader going into 8th grade, and it was just absolutely amazing. And I was down there helping with the podcast, was doing a lot of interviews with their podcasts and stuff. So I sat in on all the interviews. I think we did like 7 or 8 interviews on Tuesday, and they were 30, 40-minute interviews. And it was just some of the kids that came in there were just listening to their stories and hearing what military is like from their point of view, constantly, the changes. And one young man said, oh, how did he say it now? He said, being a military child is like sweet and sour sauce. And we all kind of got a chuckle out of that. And it was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, it's sweet because you get to travel the world and you get to see all these cool things and meet new people. He's like, the sour side of it is you go somewhere, you get close, you make really close friends, and then you end up leaving. So it was pretty neat, I thought, getting the opportunity to hear the experiences from the military child's point of view. So it's pretty interesting. Let me see here. What else we got? Go check out our friends over at Team Addo. They got their Bronco giveaway still going. They're going to be doing that giveaway September 29th, Friday, September 29th. You do not have to be present to win. Tickets are $100, so you win the Bronco. It's a 2022 custom Ford Bronco. It's freaking sweet. And then you also win $10,000 for tax, registration, and so forth. So check that out. Let me know if you guys jump on, say hello. All right, let's get down to some of the topics and stuff. Some of the headlines that I found this week. Multiple explosive devices used in bombing at encampment outside of Seattle hospital. I guess this took place a little bit earlier this week, but an explosion at a homeless encampment outside of I think it was Harborview Medical Center in Seattle was the result of multiple explosive devices being detonated, possibly in connection with an ongoing battle for control of the drug trade among the homeless. Really? And that's according to a newly released police report. The explosion happened Friday morning. I guess this was last Friday, the 21st. At the encampment that sits between I-5 and the hospital in downtown Seattle. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. So I'm going to put this. I'm going to post this here like I usually do here and try to multitask here. But yeah, and what's the sad thing is that I read in the article that it was there's a sign that goes into this encampment that says, things in here can be removed at any time as they see fit, but the city's not really doing anything about it. If you know more about that, I know we got some people up in Washington. If you've heard anything about that and want to report on it, let us know so we can give some updates. Who do we got here? Mark Peterson, Patriot Pride, brother. How are you? I can't. Sorry, I know it's Saturday. I know. Whose baby face is that? I had an accident with the Clippers, man. It's a long story I was trying to trim. I turned and went whoomp, like straight across, and I was like, dude, this sucks. I've not had no facial hair in about 7 years. Andrew, good morning, brother. How are you? Building an old course for the... Oh, nice. Very nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you guys jumping on. Thank you very much. Make sure you share this for me if you would, please. Thank you. Because I'm about to talk about one of my favorite people in all the free world. Who do you think it is? Anybody want to guess? I'm talking about Bill Gates. Yes, Mr. Bill Gates, one of my favorite people, said no one ever. Mainly consequence. I know, right? Yeah, rookie. So Bill Gates, check this out. This was almost borderline infuriating. Shocker, I know. But Bill Gates allegedly funded research into genetically engineered cattle ticks. Now 450,000 Americans have red meat allergies from the alpha-gal syndrome caused by tick bites. You can't make this crap up, guys. It's infuriating that this man gets away with as much as he does. So I left the article there, but after reading it kind of in more detailed and stuff, it's not a surprise. The man has stupid amount of money. Good on you, but I feel like he's just using that money for evil. He's a big proponent of lowering the population. He's been tied with, weather alterations. He's been tied to stuff overseas, polio vaccines, all this stuff. The guy's not a doctor, okay? He's a computer geek that literally didn't even write the code or anything like that. He got people to do it. Great business move, don't get me wrong. But the fact of what he's doing, like, it's kind of like nobody wants to say anything, and here I am. Nobody wants to say anything about what he's doing and the potential damage that it could lead in the near future. And nobody wants to step up to him because he's got all the money in the world. So he'll just pay somebody off, and that's how they control everything. And again, this is my opinion. But, if I'm wrong, that'd be the first time today. So, anyway, next up, another one of just an inspiring individual. is, you guys have seen Hunter Biden's stuff going on this week, and it's borderline funny to me, because I know recently I talked about on the show about the powdered sugar that was found in the White House, and they didn't have enough evidence to see who it was. Well, Hunter's attorney confirms that he took $666,000 from China. Now, business deal. Why is that a big deal? I see this headline and I almost want to think that's kind of like clickbait a little bit, but I did some research into this a little bit more, and it's kind of like, I think it just ties in with everything else that's going on in and around the news with Hunter right now. You had the laptop, you had the cocaine use, and all the other crap going on, especially in the Ukraine, all tied with the Biden family. So it's just kind of like, I thought this would be fun to throw in there as well. Read the article. I think you're going to find it pretty interesting. Speaking of interesting, the other thing that I found interesting that happened this week, everybody's kind of in an uproar with the whole Bud Light thing, And I was going to title this one, Head for the Mountains, but not too fast. I'll meet you at the Public Square. Well, Public Square is that new anti-woke marketplace. It's offering jobs to all of the fired Bud Light workers this week. And I don't know if you've ever seen Public Square. It's they just recently went public, and they're kind of like a directory for other businesses and whatnot. So. But they recently went public, so I'm kind of curious to see how long it's going to take before they become part of the overall issue, or if they get bought out by somebody that wants more control. It's going to be interesting. Public Square, look it up. And that's Public SQ, by the way, just FYI. So check that out. But it was interesting because with the Bud Light, you have such a Anheuser-Busch being such a large corporation, and they had such a debacle with that marketing. Now they're, firing a whole bunch of workers. I guess that's what happens, right? But let's end some of these headlines on a good note. Multinational Interpol campaign makes over 1,000 arrests for human trafficking and migrant smuggling. This, I thought, was some pretty good news. At least something's being done. Now, here's where, this is where I kind of get a little, if you read this article, it all happened overseas. It was every place overseas. Why aren't we seeing it here in the United States? Why are not more people being arrested for human trafficking here in the U.S.? This is a legitimate question. I'm asking you guys. Those of you that are on right now, if you got an answer for me, please leave a comment below. Those of you that watch this later over the weekend or the next couple of days, the question is why is it that we don't see more arrests publicly about human trafficking and stuff here in the United States? Legitimate question that I would love to hear answers on. Because I think one of the great things that's happened in our society recently was that movie Sound of Freedom. Now, I talked about the Sound of Freedom. I went and saw that movie a couple weeks ago. I have no ties with anybody there. I'm not getting paid, I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that. That movie needed to be, and the fact that movie came out years after it was, initially kind of made, just kind of goes to show you how corrupt, I don't want to say the movie industry. No, I do. The movie industry is, because it took a small organization, a small company to really push that out. I would like to see more and more movies about truth come out. But here's the other thing. I will say this. we're talking about anti-woke stuff, and we've talked about, what's really the truth and what's really going on. Mark, I agree with you. Media, it's the number one in the U.S. Yeah, you're right, Mark. You're right. You're absolutely correct. So I think um, what was I going to say? I seeing this movie come out, I would like to see more and more movies come. Oh, so truth. We could sit there and we could tell you this is truth, and we've been told something all of our life, so we kind of have to be careful, I think, too, as to how much truth can society handle. And I'm not saying one thing's true or it's not true. Let's be clear on that. I'm not saying that uh, personally. There are things out there that are true that we have been taught and groomed to believe that are false. And here's what it boils down to. Do we have really any control over it? Maybe to a small point. Can we make change? Yeah, I honestly think that we can start making a change and start getting rid of the cookie cutter idea of what we've been taught our entire lives. Because if you look at it, that's how it's been. It's been propaganda, leads you to believe X, Y, and Z all through time. You look back at the things that we, in my 45 years of existence, the things that we've been taught that are coming out now that are like, well, that wasn't true at all, or that's not what really happened. Let me see here. What do we got here? Yeah, but Mark, okay. So Mark thinks we should be punched in the face with the truth, but here's the problem with that. How do we talk about the truth? You want to punch somebody in the face with the truth, and you tell them it's the truth, and how much truth can one person handle all at once, though? Because here's the other thing: the negative side of bringing in too much is letting people know you've been lied to your entire life. Everything that you have been taught is a lie. You don't want to do that, because I think there's going to be a very negative repercussion of doing that as well. Anthony, what's up, brother? How are you, man? And Mark, I agree with you. But at the same time, it's like maybe you do it in small consumptions. Because here's the other thing, and here's another thing that kind of that sparked it all. Earlier this week, the current administration reclassified all the Kennedy stuff. Now, anybody that was involved in that 60 plus years ago, I don't even think is alive today. So why reclassify it? I have a theory, and this is just a theory, is that you have a Kennedy that's currently campaigning, that's going to be on the presidential campaign. Why reclassify it? Something to think about. Something to think about. Yo, let me tell you something about my man Anthony here real quick. Anthony's down in here in the comments. I did get your message. I'll put something together and email it to you, by the way. Yesterday, Friday, I didn't do the weekly wrap up because I got to go spend some time with my dude Anthony. Anthony Moriello, he's one of the network sponsors. My Tax Fella, go to mytaxfella.com, see all the services that they have. If you're interested in starting a business, you need bookkeeping, you need your taxes done, you want your taxes done right, you got to give this man a shout. He has literally been taking care of me and all of my companies for the last about seven years or so. And any new company that I start, before it gets started, I talk to him first so I make sure that everything is done correctly. And more importantly, aside from all of that, he's just you have people in your lives where you don't get to talk to them every day, maybe every month, a couple times a year maybe. He's one of those guys. He's like the show up friend. Like, you need something, he shows up, and you pick up right where you left off. And he's a visionary guy, which is what I absolutely love about him. So make sure, please, go check out mytaxfella.com. So check that out. So anyway, yeah. So this is, I mean, you look at everything again, going back to kind of like truth and what's really going on in the world today. You know, if you could have the truth served to you on a silver platter, one, are you going to be able to consume it all? Two, how are you going to handle it? And three, regardless if it's truth or not, somebody's going to be, somebody is going to literally be like, well, that's not really true. This is what's really going on, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, those are the kind of headlines that I found the last couple of days. What else is going on? Listen, hey, next month, I mean, we're basically in August, right? We're basically, you know, August is next week. August, I'm going to be in Denver. August 21st through the 24th, I'm going to be in Denver, Colorado for Podcast Movement. So any of you podcasters out there, or if you're interested in going, you could still get tickets. Send me a DM, look me up. Let's get together. Would love to meet you guys. September, we have the All Heroes Welcome Ball in Tampa, Florida, September 29th with our friends over at Team Atto. If you would like to go, let me know, or go to teamatto.org/events. Get your tickets. I'm going to tell you right now, this All Heroes Welcomes Ball, it's a 1920s theme this year. And we always have a good time every year that we go. Our sister company, HMG Beverage, we sponsor a table there for the last 2 years. This will be our second year sponsoring, second year sponsoring. And we always have a good time. It's a lot of fun. The next day, September 30th, is the All Heroes Open Fishing Tournament. Now, I'm an angler. I love to fish. I love to be outdoors, so this is my kind of thing. We have a blast. It starts at about 7:30, 8 o'clock. You usually fish until 2. A lot of great prizes, great people. It's just a good time. It's Tampa, Florida, people. Come on. Like, if you love the water, you love the fish, you want to be at this event, go check it out, teamatto.org/events. All right, what else do we got here? I'd mentioned before that we have a new sponsor on the network, a company called Independence Bourbon. For women, by women. This is a company that you want to definitely keep a close eye out on, because they are going to be, they're already stirring up the bourbon industry. So go check them out. I'll be talking more about them here in a little bit. So let's dive into some of the shows. Let's talk about some of the shows, because we got some of the shows that are back. Everybody, it's starting to get busy now. You know, summer is basically, I don't want to say finished, because I don't know if I'm ready for summer to be done yet. But let's face it, school is right around the corner, right? And that's another thing. School is literally about a week or two away for some people. High school, elementary school, college. I know college is getting ready to start here very, very soon here in the next week or two. So it's good to see the shows coming back, and these shows are coming back full force. Listen, real quick, if you want to check out all the shows, I'm going through the shows that pumped out some content this week, but you can check out all the shows on heroesmediagroup.com. Go see all the shows that we have there. First up in the queue, we got the Power Investing in People podcast with Shay Sparks. What is PTG with Sly Jenkins, the third? So what is PTG? I don't know. What is PTG? You're going to find out in this episode. How can we make a comeback after we've been through a setback? In this episode, Mr. Jenkins shares his journey of trauma, adversities, and comebacks in this inspiring conversation. He's an Army veteran, a mental health advocate, an author of Winning the Battle Within, and his latest masterpiece, had a list. I just developed a lisp all of a sudden. His latest masterpiece, From Combat to Comeback. This is a great episode. Check it out. And we love Shay Sparks. I'm glad she's back. It's the Power Investing in People podcast. Check it out. All right, let's check out the next one is The Other Side of the Firewall. These guys do a show. It lasts about 10, 15 minutes, and they talk about IT stuff, and sometimes it's over my head, but I'm getting more and more into this show each and every week, and I'm learning a ton from it. Monday was the new nationwide cybersecurity certificates and labels. Tuesday was Move It Data breach causes John Hopkins suit. That one was scary. I'll put it that way. And then Wednesday was cybersecurity diversity gap closing. What does that mean for jobs in the cybersecurity sector? Check it out, The Other Side of the Firewall. Next up, every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we got your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project. Listen, Mark Peterson, he was on here a little bit earlier. I'm not sure if Mark's still on. Mark, if you are, let us know who you got coming up this weekend. Every Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, they do an amazing show. They have a lot of great guests every Sunday, and they have some other shows that they do. They do like a weekly wrap-up, very similar as well. So go check it out, the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 at 6 every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. There's the big guy right there. Boom. What's up, brother? Hey, Mark, who do you guys have coming this Sunday? Would you mind leaving a comment below? And then tag the People's Patriot Project, please, so people can go check that out Sunday night. And, of course, I'll do that as well afterwards. But, yeah, always putting on some great content, so go check that out. Wheelchairs for Warriors, go check out their Instagram page. They got a lot of cool stuff going on right now. Wheelchairs for Warriors, another great organization. Next up, we got the Misfit Nation podcast. This week, they do a couple of shows each week. Their more recent one, I believe, was yesterday. Vicky, she's originally from Pittsburgh, spent over 40 years in the corporate world before retiring. And now the last 17 years, spent the last 17 years of that career as a project manager for a large-scale, multi-year programs organization. Volunteering is a huge part of her life, which was a really cool story. And one of the rewards was she was selected as one of the 1996 Olympic torch relay runners. How cool is that? In 2022, she co-authored her first collaborative book and launched the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. This is a great interview. Check it out. It's the Misfit Nation. All right, next up. I love this one. Pushing Back Chaos. This week, the hosts are joined by the legendary Mrs. McFadden for an upbeat and positive conversation around happiness. What is it that makes you truly happy? That's a question that they ask this week, is what makes you happy? What makes you happy? What makes you happy? And let me take a step back here real quick. Can I just say it's nice that they finally got some really true talent. I mean, I love this episode. So the fact that Sherry McFadden came on the show was great. It was absolutely knocked it out of the park with this episode. Great episode, guys. And we really know why. We really know why. Pushing Back Chaos. Check it out. All right, listen. Next up, we got yours truly. I'm back behind the mic this week again. Crafting Independence. How one woman is changing the bourbon landscape for women. All right, kind of teased you a little bit earlier about it. She's one of our new network sponsors. I got to sit down with the founder of Independence Bourbon this week, Miss Ann Parton. Parton, P-A-R-T-O-N. You probably recognize the name. And yes, of the same family. Ann shares her journey of loss, self-discovery, and the creation of Independence Bourbon. And one of the takeaways that I have about it, and Ann, she is such a down-to-earth, just awesome, awesome woman. Quote, life is happening for us, not to us. That's the mindset I want to impact on everyone I meet. I want to help people understand that they have the power to shape their own destinies, embrace their authentic selves, and find independence in their own lives, end quote. Independence Bourbon, like I said, is a new company that is launching. It's been launched. You can actually, if you go sign up at independencebourbon.com or independence-bourbon.com and put in your email address, you get a coupon code that'll give you a percentage off once the bottles are available. They're not even available yet, but you can buy one of the first bottles off the assembly line. So it's going to be really cool. But this company is like for women, by women, and that's very powerful. And she's actually, for all you ladies out there, particularly ones that have stories to share, if you go to independence-bourbon.com, there's actually a place where, they want to hear your story. So go be a part of it. It's actually pretty cool. And you can follow them. They're just starting out on social media, but if you go to Independence Bourbon or at Independence Bourbon, you can kind of see some of the stuff that they got going on there. So do me a favor, because it's been a while since I've been behind the mic. Go check out the Decision Hour. All right, next up we got Environmentally Speaking. I don't know where everybody. I know where most of you guys are. Those of you that leave comments, I know where a lot of you are. The Midwest, most of you are out west, southwest area of the country. But up in like the northeastern side here, it's been raining a lot. The weather out here has been frightful, and it's been crazy. Some crazy electrical storms. And a lot of rainfall. More in particular, extreme weather and rising waters up in the Vermont area as they battle with the climate change. So Environmentally Speaking this week, they're talking about the pressing issue of flooding in Vermont and the condition and its connection with climate change. Vermont's recently experienced its rainiest season in the past century. Resulting in devastating floods. Here was with this episode, here was one of the most interesting things I found about it is with all the rainfall that was predicted by climate scientists, it's an urgent wake-up call, and they highlight an underlying issue and a challenge that Vermont is facing right now, because it has over 400 dams, many of which that are privately owned. I found that to be kind of intriguing. I thought it was interesting. Like, well, how can you own a dam? Well, yeah, I answered that when I did some more research. But anyway, I thought this was kind of cool. Great episode. Check it out, Environmentally Speaking. Next up, we got our friends at the MSEC, Military Child Education Coalition. This week's podcast, they're talking with Tina Norris. She discusses self-care and what it really means, as well as the benefits and how to prioritize time for yourself in your daily life. That is a big thing. Are you guys guilty of not just setting aside 10, 15 minutes for yourself each day? I know I am. I really got to get back into being better at setting aside time for yourself and just kind of give yourself a mental break, right? So anyway, all right, let's move on here. Next up, the Arms Room. What are they talking about this week? This week they're talking about strangest concepts, tactics, techniques, and ideas that have been seen in the many years that they have been working and teaching in this industry. Great episode as always, and there's some weird stuff that they have seen. You got to listen to this one. It's something else. Arms Room Show. Check it out. Next up, we got Chasing Happiness with our man Ryan. This week, building resilient prosperity, unrevealing the secrets of Recomics. It dives deep into the fascinating world of restoration economics with a unique perspective with special guest Storm Cunningham. I started listening to this one this morning. I haven't finished it yet. So far, I like it. It's pretty interesting. Next up, we have the Joel Evans Show. Our man Joel, the man's a beast, quite frankly. I mean, this week, overcoming fear of public speaking. Top tips of world-class speakers with special guest Shane Foley. Shane was a stuntman and a safety professional, actor to engineer, and he wasn't really satisfied with the career path. So he pursued his passion for inspiring others by walking away from the 9-to-5 grind in order to become a speaker and a #1 best-selling author of The Power to Speak Naked. Now, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could speak naked. Hey, man. Thanks, Mark. Have a good weekend, brother. Appreciate you. The Power to Speak Naked. That's the name of the book, by the way. So you guys can check that out. But that's this week's The Joel Evan Show. Go give it a shot. Check it out. Rise Up, Ignite Your Life. From our friends Battle to Be. They got some new stuff coming out. Stay tuned for that. Label Free Podcast. This week, The Power of Mentors. How they shape our lives, with special guest Rhonda Parker Taylor. She's an American writer, entrepreneur, academic researcher. Rhonda has an incredible background, her journey as a writer, and then they discuss her inspiration behind her first book. They also dive into some importance of personal relationships and individual development in storytelling. This was really cool. Make sure you take some notes on this because she's got some really cool bullet points, especially if you're an author or you're getting ready to you want to write a book. The storytelling aspect side of this was really cool, so check it out. That is Label Free Podcast. Next up, we got Because Bikers Matter. This week, a soldier story against all odds. Special guest this week is Lieutenant Colonel Jason Pike. Lieutenant Colonel retired, U.S. Army retired, Jason Pike. He's a combat veteran, motivational speaker, and best-selling author. They discuss Jason's incredible journey and his book, A Soldier Against All Odds. Jason's a cool dude. I'm going to be talking to him here in a few weeks for the Citizen Hour Show. Love this episode. Check it out, Because Bikers Matter podcast. Stay with me. We got a couple more left, few more left. Next up, we got Time to Shine Today with our man Scott Ferguson. This week, Steve Sparrow, he started his first company right out of college in advertising. Additionally, he holds a 4th-degree black belt in karate and a 1st-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu, including having his own karate studio. Steve contributes much of his success to a strong work ethic, can-do, never-quit attitude. He's disciplined, he has integrity, and a fearlessness that he's really cultivated in martial arts. He's a master connector with over 41,000 contacts. He does a LinkedIn live broadcast every week called The Master Connector Show. This is a really cool episode. I learned a lot from it, and the guy's just an all-around badass. So check it out. Time to Shine Today with another badass host, Scott Ferguson. Next up, we got God's Good Table. Go to godsgoodtable.com or go to their Instagram page. Follow them. They got an event coming up August 11th through the 13th in Southern Virginia. And like a good host, I don't have that information in front of me. I'm going to post it, though, after the show. August 11th through the 13th, you're going to be learning a ton of stuff out on this farm. It's absolutely awesome. Check it out. Go follow God's Good Table on Instagram because they got a lot of that information up there on their social media stuff. Last, certainly not least, we got the S3 with JD. This week, JD and Lady M make their shot at their way too early predictions for JD's beloved Patriots win-or-loss record. Also, what are the couple's top 5 NFL stadiums to see a game on their bucket list? And then, of course, Lady M tries her luck at a round of call or no call. All that, plugs, headlines, jokes, and more with the S3. Good to have them back, so check it out. Listen, we got to thank our sponsors before we let you go. My Tax Fella. Told you earlier, Anthony was on here a little bit earlier. I'm telling you guys, if you want to start a business or you need bookkeeping done, you want to have your taxes done, you want them done right, go to mytaxfella.com. You can see a list of all of the things that they offer. They've been working with me personally and my businesses for the last 7 years. They've been vetted. I absolutely love these guys. Go check it out, My Tax Fella. JB Auto Clothiers. Listen, my wardrobe game definitely increased because of these guys here. JB Auto Clothiers, it's a veteran-owned company. They make jackets, suits, they got shirts, pants, and there's a bunch of other stuff that they're coming out here in 2024. But right now, listen, this is a JB Auto Clothier original. This is made to measure jacket specifically for me. Even got my name embroidered in there. So if you're looking for a new jacket or you need a new suit, go check out JB Auto Clothiers. It's like I said, custom made to measure, veteran owned. More importantly, this here, made in the USA, right here in the United States of America, right? Love it. Go check it out, JB Auto Clothiers. Alibi Tattoo. If you got ink, you need some ink, or you got one of those regretful tattoos that you want to get rid of, go to our friends over at Alibi Tattoo. Check them out. Honor Brewing. Love those guys. Check it out. Great beer. Forget Genetics. That's who I got this hat from. Let's see right there. Yeah, buddy. Outdoors guys, hunters. If you want the deer coming in, you want the wildlife coming into where you're hunting, or you just want wildlife coming into your backyard, go check out Forget Genetics. Their products are awesome, and it's veteran owned. Plus, if you do buy from them, remember at checkout, use promo code HMG, and they'll give you 10% off. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers, as if I have to say it. If you ride motorcycles or whatnot, these guys should be on your speed dial. I absolutely love this organization, Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. They're also a sponsor for Because Bikers Matter podcast as well. So thank you, Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. Got a Whole Brewing. If you're down in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, go check out this awesome brewery down there. My friend Wendy and her husband, great people. Food's great, and it's such a beautiful area down there. So Got a Whole Brewing, check it out. Feed the people, buy the people. Those of you, I've talked about it. Where are you getting your food from right now? Where are you getting your meat products? Because there's a lot of fake meat out on the market right now. So are you aware of what you're putting in your body? Maybe you want to find a rancher or a farmer near your location so you can buy direct from the farm. Go to Feed the People, Buy the People. They'll put you in touch with the farmer or rancher in your local area. Carrabba's. Wow. I wish anybody at Cabela's, if you're watching, would love to have you as a sponsor because I need some new fishing gear too, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Carrabba's down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. This is the one at Sycamore Dairy Road. As a tongue twister. Love it. Go say hi to our man Eric down there. Absolutely love it. And then Independence Bourbon. Check them out. For women, by women. Go to independence-bourbon.com. And then last but not least, Independence HMG Beverage. It's Saturday, folks. I'm already, it is what it is, right? HMG Beverage. Go to hmgbeverage.com. If you need some coffee, we do offer wholesale pricing too. So if you're a business out there and you want your own label, give us a shout. Let us know. If you are in Tennessee this weekend down in Woodbury, go to Short Mountain Distillery. Check out Short Mountain. They got this great restaurant down there. If you talk to Billy, who's the owner, tell him I sent you. And then check out, you can get the HMG gin down there in Tennessee as well. So that being said, that's it. That's all the time I got. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the weekend. Stay tuned because we got more to come. Next week is going to be a busy week, and I'm excited about some of the stuff that's coming that I'm going to share with you guys. So stay tuned with what that is going to look like. In the meantime, smile a lot, make someone laugh, know someone cares. God bless you. God bless America. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.